I just wanted to come in here real quick and talk about something that I saw the other day. So me and the girls, we were getting off a flight. We were on our way back to LA, and we were waiting for our Uber to get to our car.
Okay.
And you know, when you're waiting for the Uber, the guy, there's an attendant there, and he was like, "Hey, do you need help? Like, do you know where your Uber is gonna be, or what the car looks like, or whatever?" So I'm like, "Okay, thank you. It's really late. I'm really tired." But he was being helpful, right? And then, so me and the girls, we waiting on the side, waiting for our Uber. And then this lady walks up, and she's like, she's not saying anything. So he says to her, "Do you need help? Where, do you know what your Uber looks like? Whatever." Same thing he said to me. And she was like, "Do I look like I need help?" "No, I'm waiting for my Uber. Like, I know what it looks like." Like, real nasty. And it was just one of those things where
it's uncalled for.
She was just being nasty.
Just to be nasty.
She was a black woman. So when she was done and she walked on about her business, I guess her car came or whatever. And I said to the guys, it was two of them out there, I was like, and this is for us, I said, it's black women like that who make us look bad. And what I meant by that was, we are always saying that we need help, right? We always saying how we need help with something, or, we want to be feminine in our feminine energy. We should just be feminine in our feminine energy, right? We sometimes have to operate in a masculine energy. That is just a balance. That's the balance, right? But we get upset when men don't speak to us properly, or we get upset when we don't have help. We get upset about certain things, right? And now listen, and I'm saying this because I had to learn, and I'm still learning, but I definitely learned not to be as aggressive. And it's just like, period. Like, I'm from Baltimore City, so most of the women there, we're aggressive women. We grew up in an environment where we had to be aggressive, right? But when somebody is trying to help you, what's your reason?
I agree with you.
Like,
100%.
What's your reason to feel like you have to be ugly? Be nice, sis. Like, be nice. He's just trying to help you.
I hate black women. I'm sorry. Not all of them, but I hate a black woman with an attitude. And I'm black, right? Y'all don't extend the courtesy of thank you, excuse me, I'm sorry, here, let me help you with that. When someone speaks to you, you're all, you teach your kids to be rude and disrespectful. Black women, y'all need to get it together. And I'm just telling you what, you need to get it together. You have an attitude, your kids have an attitude. What is wrong with you? I absolutely understand, because I'm a black woman too. I totally get the suppressed, the white man holding you back. I mean, I don't know. I guess I get it. Because everybody won't always go back to slavery. We were slaves and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But you wasn't a slave. So why you get this fucked up mentality? Damn.
The good black woman has self-discipline. That's self-control. Let me make that real for you, sisters. We can start with our mouth. The good black woman can control her mouth. She don't have to say everything that comes up. It's okay if he get the last word sometime. She don't cuss in public. And she works on not cussing in private. She don't tear a man down with her mouth, because they can't out-argue us. Can't nobody out-argue us. I have charged that we nag our men too much. We keep our men's head tied up so much with our petty grievances about our personal relationship that he don't have time to think and plan for our future. Because he got to deal with what's going to happen with us every day. You know, it's real odd. When the black man come home, he almost have to do a wind test or stick his toe in the door. He don't know what's waiting. He don't know who in there today. He knows it's a possibility that there's some kind of new monster that he didn't even know about yesterday. So, you know, we need to not make it like that. We need to not be so vicious with our mouth. You know, men are not petty like that. They're not going to out-argue us. And it has been proven that verbal abuse is just as harmful as physical abuse.
Black women very easily do what is referred to as get an attitude or catch an attitude. This means routinely, daily, moment to moment, she may decide, whatever reason, that it is necessary to float between good feelings and bad feelings, which equals an attitude. The attitude represents a change in mood. She may become dark and gloomy or uptight for days on end about something she has not even presented to the black man. There are several interactions she predetermines will give her some kind of emotional problem that results in her exhibiting an attitude. The attitude is unpleasant, makes her extra hard to get along with, and pervades the atmosphere with dissatisfaction. The black woman's attitude affects how she looks, how she responds, and what she does. Her attitude can be described simply as her state of mind, negative. While her presence is important and her cooperation essential, the most important issue the black man has to deal with is the black woman's state of mind. If she has an attitude, she will be careless, cynical, silent, and disagreeable to live in peace with. The first hint that she has an attitude is that she becomes quiet, distracted, and irritable. The black woman has a very short memory of the good times she has with the black man. And as soon as something goes wrong, she immediately figures out what it would take for her to bail out of the relationship. She can make her exit plans in the twinkling of an eye and instantly is ready to do whatever it takes to flee. She keeps these plans ready in the forefront of her mind anyway because of her insecurity, distrust, and lack of faith in the black man. Once she's figured out her game plan, i.e., what she'll do if he does this or that, she becomes settled. It is at that moment her confidence returns and she is ready to deal with the problem at hand. She deals with personal interaction problems as if they are happening during the last day of her life. There is no tomorrow, for she and the man is at odds with. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Happy Monday, welcome back to On the Shoulders of Giants. I am Joseph Ward, continuing my reading of Sister Shahrazad Ali's book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. I'm on chapter 14, page 137, Attitudes. As you can see by the videos in my opening, we're talking about the attitudes that certain black women have, which can be described as bad attitudes or nasty attitudes or stank attitudes that I've heard all in my life. People going around with stank behind attitudes, they nose in the air and they butt on their shoulders, walking around thinking that they are better than others, or I can talk to you this specific way because of the way I feel or who I believe I am, what I believe my position in life is, all the other factors that a person can create for themselves to give them the justification to have a horrible attitude. But in this particular case, we're talking about these particular attitudes of black women and how these attitudes affect the relationship that she has with the black man. I'm a black man. I've been a black man my whole life, and I've been talking to black men my whole life. And one thing that black men have always complained about is bad attitudes. Black women with bad attitudes. Black women with that mouth that just is vicious and violent and can, like Sister Shahrazad Ali said, that mouth can tear you down. That's why she preaches cooperation. two people being combative on a normal basis, jockeying for power, jockeying for position, looking to tear each other down, looking to get that upper hand, that verbal upper hand and that proverbial upper hand. Hopefully it doesn't go to the physical upper hand. But being in the presence of a woman who has a bad attitude for particular reasons, I always think that people need to really get themselves together if they plan on dating. If you've had trauma in your personal life, trauma in your romantic life, trauma in your childhood, trauma in your professional life, and the trauma spilling over to other aspects of your life or experiences or things that you've even just heard and internalized because you've constantly heard these stories over and over again. And now that has led to women developing attitudes, right? You might not be ready to date. You might not be ready to be in a relationship. You might need to spend that time probably in some therapy or working with some kind of professional to help you to resolve those issues before you get back in the dating scene, because that attitude won't get you far. A bad attitude won't get you anywhere. A black woman with a bad attitude, because we already know the stereotype of the angry black woman, right? But the black woman with the bad attitude in relation to the black man, it won't get you far. Cooperation is key. Respect is key. Trust is key. Kindness is key. Gentleness is key. How you talk to somebody. What are you saying when you talk to them? Are you pouring into them? Even if somebody's messing up, how do you talk to them? Nobody's asking anybody to be a doormat, but we're also saying you're not going to treat me like a doormat. Somebody like me, definitely not going for it. We won't last. You won't make it because I don't have to. And at the end of the day, that's just it. Not afraid to lose. Not afraid for somebody, especially somebody with a bad attitude, not afraid for them to not be in my life. And we got to get to that point to where your self-esteem is at such a healthy level that you have no room in your life for people with bad attitudes, men, because a lot of men are facilitating these things and stoking the fires by supporting these attitudes and still dealing with these women and reinforcing them. And then their friends are helping to reinforce these bad attitudes as well. Echo chambers. The women's friends, the women's in the echo chambers with their friends, and their friends are reinforcing the bad attitudes because they have bad attitudes. And so it's like, it's okay to have a bad attitude when it's not. Of course, like we all know, this is not all black women, but it's a good number of black women. But these stereotypes, these tropes, and these narratives affect the overall black women, period. And we have to understand that as black people, oppressed people, historically oppressed people, people with no power, we don't really control our image like we think we do. So let that sink in, right? So how we carry ourselves, how we behave, especially how we behave among each other, matters. If we treat each other like trash, it's okay for other people to treat us like trash. I'm gonna say that one more time. If we treat each other like trash, if we disrespect each other, if we talk down on each other, if it's okay for us to have attitudes with each other, why isn't it okay for other people to do it? They see us doing it to ourselves, they gonna do it to us too. Think about it. But let's jump back into the reading. Second paragraph, page 138. The unfair thing about the black woman's attitude is that she chooses to act out her dissatisfaction instead of confronting the black man head on honestly and explaining what she is unhappy about. Sometimes once the actual words are spoken out of her mouth, she realizes how ridiculous her position is and hopes with all her might the man will offer a simple solution or explanation that would get her off the hook. When she is carrying an attitude about something, she thinks the entire conversation out in her head. She may even rehearse her lines and make up responses to what she thinks the black man will say. She may become so involved with her inner talk scripts, she is unable to hear other people talk to hear and appears she is daydreaming. The black man who is unaware of her self-talk and verbal preparation may be surprised at the almost instant intensity and organization she presents her problem in. While she is waiting to see if the man will figure out for himself what is wrong with her, she talks to her friends. She downgrades the black man and tells her cohorts every negative thing she knows about him and possibly his whole family. Her friends, other black women, are of course sympathetic with her predicament. The black man is literally the black man is literally tried and convicted before he even goes on trial. Later on, after the conflict has passed and she and the man are back on good terms, all the bad things she said about him are expected to be forgotten, and her friends play the same rule. They never mention it again. This is a kind of grace or courteousness they extend to each other because they know that when angry with the man, they might say anything and exaggerate. Her friends may tell her to continue to watch him because he is probably lying. Sometimes the black woman in question has told too much about her private affairs. She becomes so embarrassed that she breaks off the relationship with the people she told. She thinks that after the incident, she can never really be completely believed about how happy she and her man are. The reputation of a black man hangs in a delicate balance between the woman and her girlfriends. Once ruined by rumor, he has a hard time regaining their confidence or respect. He never knows this because usually they all continue to act friendly, never letting on they have changed their opinion about him because of something he allegedly did to his woman. They are compassionate with each other about having an attitude. And something she said, and that is very key. So in having the black woman with an attitude and having a conversation with her other friends who have an attitude, and she is venting about her man, the issues with her man. She's angry with him. She has an attitude. And so she may have a tendency to exaggerate. And in the exaggeration, she is further ruining his reputation. Right here, it says, this is the kind of grace or courteousness they extend to each other because they know that when angry with the man, they may say anything and exaggerate. Wow. So they know that they might make up something and lie. So both sides already know that this may happen. That is wild. We have to do better. Because the exaggeration does not help. Because in the exaggeration, she's looking to make herself look like the victim, the eternal victim. And so he has to be a greater villain if she's going to be the eternal victim. He has to be a great villain. And so that's where the exaggeration come in. But also the attitude is the way it's displayed, and when she's not even listening to him, she has predetermined answers. She is looking to dominate the conversation. She is looking to take that upper hand on the black man and make sure that he knows her position and he knows that he is wrong and she is right. You know, I've heard this for a while, what I'm about to say. I've heard this for a while and I've always disagreed with it because I've always heard men say, you know, the old saying, do you want to be right or you want to be happy? And the fact that I've only heard that in relation to men. So they're only telling men, hey, no matter what, whether you're right or not, you either want to be right or you want to be happy. That goes along that happy wife, happy life trope stuff. And I'm not getting down with that, right? Because yes, we both want to be happy. But if you're wrong, be an adult and admit to being wrong. Just like I would. I am wrong. I apologize. How can I fix this? There's nothing wrong with that, right? So the promotion of, well, you know, you got to make her happy. You got to make her happy. Like the relationship, the happiness of the relationship is contingent upon the happiness of the woman. That's not a relationship. And that's definitely not something I would be in. I would never be a part of something like that. When she's not happy, we not happy. No. When she's not happy, she's not happy. Especially if I ain't got nothing to do with it. And even you can't make up nothing and put me into it and be mad that I don't want to participate. No. Now you creating issues. And now you got an even worse attitude because you done created something in your head and want me to participate in it. And I ain't participating in it. We're not doing that. We're adults and we're going to work on a regular basis to make sure we have peace. We're not going to create issues that don't need to be there, especially not with somebody that got an attitude. You trying to dominate the situation because you got your attitude and you and your feelings. And oh yeah, remember they're telling people your feelings matter. Your feelings matter to you. If the black man examines the black woman when she has an attitude, one she denies she is having, he can see the physical symptoms of her stress, such as, and these are 16 physical symptoms of her stress. 1, general irritability and gloom. She sulks, may manage a strained smile, and gets impatient easily. 2, her heart pounds. She shows symptoms of being excited or out of breath. Her blood pressure may rise. 3, her mouth and throat become dry. She may have difficulty speaking or responding in a normal tone. 4, she may throw things around. She becomes careless, developing an I don't care or F it manner. 5, dizziness. She may appear slightly drunk when she walks. 6, she develops an inability to concentrate on normal activities. She may have to be spoken to several times before she responds. 7, floating anxiety. She appears to be afraid and nervous while restraining her outburst. 8, trembling or nervous tics. Her jaw or eye may twitch. Her hands may shake from trying to control her outrage. 9, stuttering. She may jumble her words or display other speech difficulties. 10, grinding her teeth. She may do this while awake or sleep at night. She may start to eat more. 11, diarrhea, indigestion, and vomiting caused by her internal systems adjusting to deal with her suppressed stress. 12, popping pills or increased smoking. She may do this to delay her reactions or just to have something to do other than face her problem. 13, severe headaches, sick migraines that may put her out of commission or send her to bed with pain and nausea. 14, drinking, increased alcohol consumption. She may drink more and say things she later says she doesn't remember. 15, nightmares. She may wake up with cold sweats or toss and turn. And 16, accident prone. Because of her distraction, she may start bumping into things or drive carelessly and becomes dizzy. She cannot see because her vision is clouded with her problems. So once again, those are 16 physical symptoms of her stress from suppressing herself, from trying, or just the stress she's going from having an attitude or trying to keep the attitude in check, just the attitude period in general. So the black woman does not know that stress is a reaction caused by the value she places on something. If she changes her value or reaction to an issue or subject, she will have milder responses. If she tells herself that certain things make her upset, undoubtedly they will. Sometimes the black man will stay away from the black woman until she gets over her attitude. Left to her own devices, she eventually will work the problem out in her head, settle on a decision she can live with, and continue on in the relationship. Every problem with the black man, however, requires her to make a decision about whether or not she will stay with him or go. She does not consider problems as temporary stumbling blocks. Every issue is a life or death problem that the entire relationship dangles from. Once again, like I just said, if the whole relationship is revolved around how she feels, what she says, what she thinks, and all these things, you're in a bad situation, my friend. You're in a bad situation. That's not the woman that you need to be with. That's not the woman you need to be with, right? She's not ready to be in a relationship. There's no respect. There's no courteousness. There's no continuity. There's no teamwork. It's just me, I, me, I. You can't win like that. Her attitude has to change. Her outlook on life has to change. Is her attitude valid, or is it because of something she created? But even if it's a valid attitude, if she has valid reasons to be angry, you got to find a way to not go around being nasty and angry around other people. Because guess what? Guess what we don't have to do? Guess who we don't have to be around? You. People who understand who they are and their value and what they bring will get up and leave and never come back around you. Nope. You can't sit here. During the course of her attitude, she may also devise all kinds of devious schemes and plans. Plans how to execute if she thinks her man has done her wrong and tried to make a fool of her. The black man does not have to make a fool out of the black woman. If he stays with her long enough, he will witness her making a fool out of herself. Most of her emotional pain is self-inflicted, but she refuses to acknowledge this. She sees the black man as the root of all of her problems, and if he would just act right, she would be fine. One of the main reasons she develops an attitude with the black man is when she thinks that he has a decision about his life that thrusts her out of the limelight. She insists that the black man's entire world revolves around her just because her whole world revolves around him. She does not want to be a part of his world. She wants to be his entire world. She desires to remain in a state of constantly being romanticized by him. When he develops other interests, she quakes inside from fear, wondering if his new interest means he is bored with her and no longer wants her. She vows to be the sum total of his focus and will send him through a lot of fabricated changes just to keep his undivided attention. Look here. The self-inflicted wounds won't get you nowhere. The attitude won't get you nowhere. The idea that I'm going to use leaving the relationship as leverage to get you to do what I want you to do, to get you to make me feel the way I want to feel. That's childish. You're not ready for relationships. Nope. That black woman needs some help. She needs somebody to help her. It's not a healthy relationship. The components of the relationship is not healthy. It's based on building and gaining power and maintaining power. And it's based on like a transactions. It's a transactional relationship. It's a transactional power grab. That's exactly what it is. That relationship is a transactional power grab. If you don't make me feel this way, if you don't do what I say, if you're not the man of my dreams, I'm out of here. Because I can leave anytime I want to. You better put up with my attitude or put up with this or put up with that. And if you don't, I'm out of here. The women who subscribe to that mindset, they usually don't have a man. The angry, bitter, nasty women with those attitudes, the majority of them don't have men. I'm just saying. But we need each other. So we got to grow up. The black woman thinks that his experimentations and investigations outside of her means that he does not love her or want her. She wants the black man to be like she is, satisfied and accepting of her life together. If he does not do this, she thinks he is wrong and will get mad at him. She prefers to have him hanging onto her dress tail. But when he does this, she disrespects him, considers him weak, and treats him badly. The black man is called upon to love the black man, but he must set limitations about what she can and cannot do. She wants him to enforce his rule over her, even though she claims she doesn't. The main process that creates security for the black woman is for the black man to tell her what to do, have a plan for her life, and to see to it that she does it. She desires to be convinced of his love and be forced to do right by him. She is similar to a child who does something to see if the parent will allow it, or does something wrong to see if the parent loves it enough to chastise it. Children do this all the time to reaffirm themselves that the parent loves them enough to reprimand them. The black woman practices a contradiction when she claims she wants to have her own way. All the while, she wants to be monitored and restricted so she would not harm herself or others. But it takes a competent, strong man who been put up on game and taught about manhood by some real men to understand that. To understand what they call womanese, where they'll say one thing and mean another. Oh, we hate it. Oh, we hate it. But it is what it is. It's the nature of a woman, right? So this is not talking about dictatorship, but it's talking about leadership. It's talking about direction. It's talking about getting with a man who's competent enough to lead you to the right direction, to lead your family, to lead himself in the right direction. If you want to know if a man is a good enough leader to lead you, look at how he's leading himself. What is he doing in life? Where is he going in life? What is his character like? Because that's a big one that a lot of people overlook. What is his character like? Oh, you got an attitude now with these men, but in the past, you didn't have an attitude with the dudes who was the bottom of the barrel dudes. And now you got an attitude because life has given you an attitude, and your failures with men has given you an attitude. We don't want that attitude. We don't want that attitude. So she claims being alone gives her time to get to know herself and to get in touch with her real feelings. It is impossible for her to get to know herself without guidance. When she is alone, it only gives her time to congratulate herself on being right about how she is. She wants to keep her fragile ego in check, so she only admits to light criticism of herself. She is under siege by her erroneous ideas. The advisors in women magazines and newspaper columns have commenced providing women with creative alternatives to having a man, and bitter women too, older bitter women too. They give long detailed lists on activities that do not require a man and that afford special pleasures to be the unattached female. Of course, all of these suggestions fell short of all of these suggestions fell short and are inadequate to compete with the company of a man. Almost any activity is better when accompanied by a black man. The options offered to lone women are distractions presented to help the black woman conclude she doesn't really need a man to be happy. Certainly a woman will kneel over and die if she doesn't have a man. But then again, the moment of death is over in a second, while loneliness seems to linger for infinity. So I see this a lot. Of course, I'm in a college town. I'm in an area where a lot of professional women and a lot of women who don't need no man for nothing. So they find a lot of they find a lot of activities to do for themselves. But one thing I see a lot of women do is doing the work. It's working on themselves. It's being alone so they can work on themselves and fix themselves and make themselves better and all that stuff there. And I never understood why a woman couldn't find herself in a relationship. Who are you in a relationship with that if you need help finding yourself will not be there to help guide you, be there to help you along your way to find yourself? Who are you in relationships with? But the fact that women feel like they need to separate themselves from their men to find themselves, to experience this, to experience that, and to grow through life and get in touch with their feelings and all those things, to know herself better. I just never understood why being alone was the best way for you to get to know yourself. Like it's like the idea is it's always been impossible for a woman to know herself if she's in a relationship. So married women don't grow. Women in relationships don't grow. Only single women grow. Is that the idea? Like only single women grow because being in a marriage or being in a relationship, there's too many other moving parts. She can't concentrate on herself. Well, what type of man are you with? What type of structure and environment did you all build for yourselves? If you're in an environment where you feel like you have to lose yourself in the environment just to exist in the environment, you can't be yourself and know yourself and learn yourself and grow as an individual within a family. How is that impossible? I don't get it. Look, my woman, you have room to grow within this relationship. I don't need you to feel so consumed with this relationship that you lose yourself. You lose your purpose. You lose your vision. You lose your path. That's not what we're here for. I don't need a mother. I don't need I don't need to be your everything, like that, in that sense, where you have to, everything you do is about me. No. Who are you? What do you bring into this relationship? That's why you got to know who you are. But you can know who you can continuously learn who you are in this relationship. You can continue to grow in this relationship, right? We're going to learn who we are together. But we have to be willing to work together and willing to do what we need to do to grow. Understand it's going to be ups and downs. Understand it's not going to be easy. Hell, we learning each other. But if we're both willing to do what we need to do to put in that work, we can make this thing happen. We can grow. We can be the greatest of the greats. I'm telling you what we gonna do. I'm guaranteeing you what's gonna come out of this. As long as we do what we need to do. As long as I am on my path, I'm on my purpose, and I'm doing my job, and you're on your path, you're on your purpose, and you're doing your job. But we coming together as a team and we working together, I guarantee you success. That's that mindset that we got to have together as couples. We need each other. We need each other. We can't let anything break us apart. Specifically, this video, Shahrazad Ali is concentrating on the Black woman's attitude. And I said what I said because the Black woman's attitude can keep her from having a man, or keep her away from a man who has her best interest, or run a man off who has her best interest. I keep her in that state of where I got to find myself and I got to grow and get to know myself and do all these things, go on my self-worth journey and all these things the women go on. Yeah, I say a lot of these women on these long self-worth journeys because they haven't really did what they need to do to fix them nasty attitudes. So become better people, become more pleasurable people to be around. Being fine, having a good education, and money are not sufficient credentials to attract, keep, and satisfy a man. There are countless multitudes of Black women who possess these credentials, who are lonely and untouched by a man. They are the ones so rigid in their requirements and refuse to budge of accept any offer other than what she deems a man should be. The man of her dreams does not exist anymore on earth except in her cartoon-like imagination. There's no real shortage of Black men if the Black woman would decide to deal with what she has, opposed to living alone and dreaming of what is not available to her. Still, Black women persist on pursuing a tragic, wasted life of trying to remake the Black man. She wants a gender-free society where the women are free to act like men and the men are free to take care of their own needs domestically like a woman. She tantalizes him with her active smiles and sensitivity and drops the bomb on him as soon as anything happens that doesn't please her. The bomb is her funky disposition that interferes with her happiness. Not only does the Black woman believe that trying to please the Black man is a blatant form of machoism, she has sufficiently fooled many Black men into believing that there is no longer any such thing as a good woman. She has also inspired him to believe that he may as well stop searching for what does not exist to accept her low-down decorum as the norm. She wants him to give up on being happy the way he perceives it and accept the terms she offers and be satisfied. Her greatest threat is that one day the Black man will learn the truth of her and bust her in the deception. She becomes weary of carrying the burden of judging the details of falsehood and truth mixed together and trying to maintain a natural-looking facial expression. It is time-consuming and tiring, but she thinks it is the only way to relate to the Black man in order to get any benefit for herself. She does not view her actions as trickery, but as a necessary game plan to survive. She too has given up on the possibility of finding a good Black man. Not the kind she is looking high and low for. She has three main tools she uses to control him. 1, denial, 2, aggression, and 3, jealousy. She can be counted on to use these 3 traits to combat the Black man when he does something that she feels she absolutely cannot accept. It could be anything. She does not apply the same tactics every time to every issue that arises. She changes her position craftily according to whatever she feels emotionally all the time of the infraction. Sometimes just one misplaced word in one of her man's explanations can send her off. She is a real grouch when she is suffering from one of her attitudes. This is something that is a constant choice to be in a negative state of mind, a displeasing state of mind, a displeasing state of being, to get your way or to have some type of feeling or get some type of reaction from the man that you're dealing with or from society as a whole around you. Nobody enjoys a person with a bad attitude. But in particular for this video, we're talking about black women with bad attitudes, because this is what Shahrazad Ali is examining. She's examining the attitude of the black woman that is keeping her away from her black man. Black men need black women and black women need black men. Dang it, we need each other. But the attitude has to go. Right? Now we can examine in the comments, we could talk about what are factors that contribute to the attitude. I will admit, America has, like one of the young ladies said in the video, yes, America has contributed to a lot of the dispositions and things that we have today in America as black people. But we have control over how we react to what America has done to us. And we have control over how we treat each other, and how we think about each other, and how we talk to each other. We have control over how we deal with our experiences, whether positive or negative. We have control over whether we continue to hold on to negative energy, negative memories, negative experiences, whether we want to get the professional help that we need to get over or deal with or learn to live with in a more healthy state with our negative experiences. There is nothing that we don't have access to. You know, like I don't know what I'm trying to say, but what I am trying to say is we don't have to continue in the state of depression, of anger, of attitudinals, of I don't like you, you don't like me, you don't like me, I don't like you. We don't have to be combative all the time. We don't have to be in the state of I don't like you. I don't like black men. I don't like black women. No, we don't have to be in that state. The black women, especially black women these days, have access to resources that can help them with any issues that they have, right? And of course, every area isn't the same. I do community outreach. I understand every area isn't the same, but there are a number of black women who have access to the resources that they need. But just like the black woman has gone through a lot in America, the black man has. And there's no way, no how anybody would accept the black man with a bad attitude. So just as we are expected to check our attitude, black women are expected to check their attitudes. The black women who subscribe to having these bad attitudes. It's not okay to have a bad attitude just because. We've all, both black women and black men, we've all been through this together. We're going through this together. Your attitude will not make it better. It will only make it worse. It will only drive us further apart. Don't listen to the women who are trying to convince you that it's okay to have a bad attitude. You're going to drive men away from you. Women who talking to you like that, they don't like you, and they're trying to set you up and sabotage your love life. Bad attitudes will not attract or keep men that got sense. The man you want won't be around if your attitude is funky. That's all I'm gonna say. Hey, so pages 137 to 145. Pages 137 to 145, chapter 14, attitudes. Next up, chapter 15, her sex, goes from 145. Let me get these pages flipped real quick. And it'll be on like hot butter popcorn. Hold on now. 145 of the mighty weight class. All right, so chapter 15, her sex, page 145 to 154 is the next video coming up. And we're almost done with this chapter. Got chapters 15, 16, 17, and 18. It's 18 chapters in this book. So we're almost done with this book. It's almost ready. It's almost time for us to pick our next book. So gonna be getting that going on. But you know, attitudes, checking our attitudes, Black woman's attitude. Black men have to be competent enough to lead Black women. Black women have to be smart enough to pick Black men who are competent enough to lead themselves and lead you. And the Black men who you are giving the position of leadership in your life, remember, check his background. Check his background. Check him out. See what his history of leadership is. Has he led others? Has he led himself? Is he a follower posing as a leader? But you have to be willing to follow. You can't be fighting for position in a relationship. If you're going to get with a man, let that man be a man, therefore you can be the woman. Don't be trying to fight for position. It's the attitude will run that man off. And a soft man would never keep a woman. So, hey, that's my time, Joseph Ward. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the views. Let's continue getting these views. Let's continue getting these subscribers. Let's get this channel out there. Let's build this channel. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers. I got a lot to do. My Black History School is coming. We got a lot to do. We got a lot of stuff to do to serve the community, man. So rock with me. I love you all. Make sure y'all catch the next video.